Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
And we love our doggos.
We have two.
Doggos.
Yes. And they live in their forever home.
Which is our home.
Which is also the name of the game that we'll be looking at today. Forever Home. Forever Home is designed by Lottie and Jack Hazell, and it's published by Birdwood Games, who provided us with this prototype copy of the game.
And the game is coming to retail, so you can likely get it maybe even today, right now. But check out the links in the description. We also did a playthrough of this game.
Yes.
So if you want to learn more about how the game is played, you can check that over
somewhere here.
Or in the description, which it will be for sure. But in Forever Home, what you're trying to do is you're trying to bring a bunch of dogs, train them, and find them a forever home.
What?
Making sure you train them well will cause you to find various homes for more dogs. And the more homes that you're able to find for dogs is the more points that you'll score in the game, potentially.
Exactly. But with that quick introduction of the game out of the way, let's take a look at how the game plays.
As always, you begin by setting up. You'll set up the Commendations Challenge board, home cards, along with the training cards and dog tokens. Each player will receive a shelter board, 2 training cards, and they'll draft 2 dogs to start. Forever Home takes place in turns, until one player has completed 7 training cards. At this point, the game comes to an end once every player has had an equal number of turns. On your turn, you'll be able to perform any 2 of the 3 actions. You can even choose to perform an action twice. You can take a dog from the central area to train in your shelter grid. You can take a training card from the central area to your hand, and or move one dog in your shelter 1 space in any direction, diagonal included. Throughout the game, you'll be working to complete training cards. Each card will have a pattern and a shape of dogs you'll need to complete in order to find your dogs their forever home. When a pattern is completed, you will complete your training card as a free action automatically. You then can graduate the number of dogs from that pattern corresponding to the number on the training card. Dogs rehomed can go into any of the 4 homes: city, suburbs, countryside, or a foster home. Each dog placed in these categories would be scored based on the home cards dealt out at the start of the game, so plan wisely where each dog will go. You'll also want to pay attention to the commendation board, as different types of dogs will earn you points for being in the majority in a particular area, such as the training space. And that's essentially the game. You'll keep playing until one player has completed 7 training cards. After everyone's had equal turns, you'll proceed to final scoring. You'll score points for completed training cards, home cards, and commendations. The player with the most points wins. Will all your dogs find their forever homes?
Woof, woof. Yeah. Well, what did you think of Forever Home?
I really enjoyed this game. We got to first try it when we went to Gamma Expo this year.
Yeah.
And I loved the dog park, but I feel like this game is just the evolution of both Jack and Lottie as designers. It's so well done. There's so much I like about it, and I was thoroughly impressed. So I'm really excited that we did get to do a playthrough, and that we get to have this copy and play it many, many a times, because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. Dog Park was a lot of fun, but Forever Home just is a good example, and an exciting example of watching Lottie and Jack evolve as game designers. And I'm very excited for this one, so yeah, I think that's really sums it up for me. I've really enjoyed the plays, and I'm excited to talk to you more about this game.
So what are some of the reasons why people may enjoy this game?
Well, first of all, I want to talk about like how simple the game is and how fast-paced the game is, because really you know you have 2 actions that you can do, 2 out of 3, and you can do them multiple times, but those decisions are often made quite quickly because it's so straightforward, and at the same time, it still provides you with a bit of like heavy thinking. It's not too heavy of a game, so don't expect like anything too brain crunchy, but at the same time there are things like thinking ahead, planning which cards you actually want to play, maybe drafting particular dogs and how you want to place them. There's a lot of thought that goes into like each decision that you're going to be making in the game, and I think that makes for a really enjoyable experience.
I really like the graphic design and then just design in this game overall, because even like Tyler was saying, those actions are really clear, but they're also on your board. So if you're ever unsure what you have to do, they're always there. Though I always forget that you can move a dog, because it's an action that you take less, because it feels better to grab either dogs or training cards.
Yeah.
But generally, everything is really intuitive in the board, and the design is just really well made.
Yeah.
The other thing I really like in this game too is the variability. I feel like a lot of games throw in variability to make more or do more of the game and create more variation. And sometimes it's a miss, but I think this game does it extremely well, where there are opportunities to have a little bit slight varying scoring, where you're still doing the same thing, but your focus is shifted to one area or another, which I really like. So I think that whole balance is just extremely well done, in my opinion.
Yeah. I like how you said the variability adds variation.
It does. It does.
I do agree with you though, and like even to your point, is it adds this like nice little leeway into more of the game experience, but doesn't change anything that you're really doing except for decision points and like focus points.
True.
Yeah. The other thing too, of course, is the theme of this game is absolutely fantastic. The art alongside of it makes this game absolutely stunning. Lovely on the or on the table that you're playing on, and who doesn't love the idea of trying to find the right homes for these adorable little doggos?
Yeah, the table presence in this game is just mwah. I can't get over the art and how cute and adorable it is. And there's so much of it. There's like the rulebook covers. So many of the cards have unique art. It's just everywhere, and it's just so gorgeous.
Yeah. And there's these like small nods of like silly dogs being silly, and it's just cute overall. Anyways, enough about that. Why might people not enjoy this game?
Well, what this game has is a lot of planning ahead and that kind of spatial awareness and building up, because you are essentially building in your grid where you're training your dogs, and how you place those dogs can potentially help your tricks forward. How you send the dogs to their forever homes can potentially help your tricks. So it does require a lot of forward thinking and planning and coordinating with your training cards. So if you're a much more impulsive player rather than a planning player, maybe this game won't appeal to you.
Yeah, that is a good point. I think also just on top of that, like as you play through more and more of these games, you realize that paying attention to what other people are doing can actually be really beneficial to you. So in saying that, if you like that, sure, this could be a great game that you would enjoy. But if paying attention to not only your board, but everything else happening around you is something that you don't enjoy, this might not be a game that you would enjoy. On top of that, just to like lean a little bit more into that, the game does pull you into a lot of different directions. You have the accommodation boards that you have to constantly be paying attention to, whether or not that be you like making sure you're contending for it. You have the different housing sets that you need to be collecting, the choice of draft, the choice of cards, making those patterns. It does pull you in a lot of directions, and by scoring well in each of those, you get a better chance of winning. So I think like just leaning into one of them is not enough to win you the game. And if you're looking for that experience of, I want to lean more into a couple things, I think this game has done a good job at spreading out your decisions, but at the same time, it could be a tension point for some people.
The attention's in the details. Is that the saying?
The attention?
No, the attention.
I know, but I said tension. So you could put it together. It was good.
The attention's in the details.
Clever. The attention is in the details.
Well, overall, what do we think?
This game is a lot of fun. It's super simple. It's fast-paced. I like the strategy given the weight of the game. I think that it adds a lot, especially for a 20 to 45-minute game. It has a solo mode, so if you're looking for another game like that. I also always love games that have animals in it, in most cases at least, and Forever Home was no different.
I do think it's a perfect midweight game that you can introduce to people who don't necessarily play games, but you can also enjoy it with hobby gamers who play those heavy games on a regular basis. It reminds me a lot of those kind of midweight flat-out games or AEG games. I think it has a very similar, and I would definitely play this one in line with a lot of those games, which are some of my favorite games. So high praises for Forever Home. It definitely has found a forever home in our home.
Over there, on the shelf. Yeah.
Now for our question of the day, do you have any furry friends? We would love to learn about them. Tell us a funny story. Did they potentially eat a bar of chocolate and they shouldn't have? Did they end up puking?
That's not very funny, because that can be very dangerous.
That's true. More funny stories, less dangerous stories.
Anyways, let us know in the comments down below. And of course, if you liked this video and you want to see more of Forever Home, we did a playthrough.
Yes.
So you can go and check it out, hopefully in somewhere
Right
up here. Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!